Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your fight. Now go out there and take it.
You lollygag the ball around the infield. You lollygag your way down to first. You lollygag in and out of their dugout. Do you know what that makes you? Larry? Lollygaggers. Lollygaggers.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Davis & Cole LLP in Athens has served the area assisting individuals and businesses with bookkeeping, tax preparation and filing, and routine accounting. Davis & Cole LLP, located at 105 South Marion Street, open weekdays 9 to 5. Call 256-232-9994. Davis & Cole LLP.
PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action Sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens Sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net. Welcome back to the Best of Tailgate Talk, our last show of 2023. This week we feature a look at our local pro teams. We start off with Timothy Jones and Alicia DesRosier, owner and head coach of the North Alabama War Dawgs. After that, we revisit conversations we had with Rocket City Trash Pandas pitchers Bryce Osmond, Hayden Seig, and Sammy Natera. Then we hear from Alabama head hockey coach Phil Tesoriero, who also has that local connection thanks to his season with the Huntsville Havoc. We then switch gears and wrap things up with a segment that featured Clayton Trutor, author of Boston Ball, Rick Pitino, Jim Calhoun, Gary Williams, and the Forgotten Cradle of basketball coaches. Let's run down our list of Howl with the Havoc winners for this week. Congratulations to Timothy Hunt, Bailey Ridgway, Kiara Jernigan, and Naomi Lovell. They each pick up tickets to see the Huntsville Havoc in action this season. We'll also pick up with new Athlete of the Week polls on Sunday, so look out for that and enter your nominations if you haven't already at tailgatetalk.net. Stay with us. We'll be back with more of the Best of Tailgate Talk. P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Sparkling internet, oh so bright. Gigabit speed spread pure delight. Stream and play without delay with a fiber connection faster than Santa's sleigh. Get ready to be gigging around the Christmas tree with internet from Ardmore Telephone Company. Join the holiday cheer and call 800-830-9946 to upgrade today. ATC is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
Local People's Gas Company in Athens and Ferguson LP Gas Company in Ardmore would like to wish all their customers a happy holiday season and thank you for your support this year. Remember, with Local People's Gas and Ferguson LP Gas, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. Call Local People's Gas Company at 230-3600 or Ferguson LP Gas at 423-3320. While others have come and gone, the Lion's Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lion's Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lion's Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Want to howl with the Havoc this season? Now's your chance from Tailgate Talk and the Huntsville Havoc. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and register your name. Then listen to Tailgate Talk Saturday mornings at 10 as we announce the weekly winners of Huntsville Havoc tickets. Howl with the Havoc this season from the Huntsville Havoc, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
A guy that's been with us ever since they've been in town, and we're glad that he's here with us today and talking about a little basketball, and he brought a little special guest with him, Timothy Jones from the North Alabama War Dawgs. Brother, we welcome you back.
Oh, man, I appreciate being back, man.
And
always love having you.
Joined here by Alicia DesRosier.
DesRosier.
Well, happy to have you here with us.
Thank you for having us.
And she says she don't want us to ask her no questions.
Well, the first thing we ask you is, what do you do for the War Dawgs?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the coach.
There we go, and I love it.
I am the coach. I was a mom last year. Just watching. This year I'm the coach.
So
but I love it.
You got sons?
I do.
Okay. So you're used to handling immature guys.
Yes. Actually, I coached all the way up through my career, girls, but I really thought guys would be easier.
Well, no, it's probably not. Well, let me ask you this, honestly, because these are young men, early 20s, mostly some. I don't know, what's the oldest player?
30.
30, okay. I mean, do you ever have that? Man, a woman going to tell me what to do. I mean, just be honest.
They're pretty good. They're very respectful.
Okay.
And probably because I got to know them last year outside of this position.
That would make
So I know them well enough to know how to talk to them and do. So they've really been good with that.
Hats off to you for being, having the foresight to not even care, man, woman, whatever, to hire. Obviously, she's doing a great job, 4-1 out of the gate. What made you even consider it, Tim?
I'm saying I always look at certain people are characters and stuff like that, and actually we needed somebody that had a nice foundation, that didn't take any mess from the guys.
Yeah. So, all right,
that's probably top of the list.
So,
right
Coach, when you get a little mess, what do we run suicides? What do we do?
I love it.
I love it.
Everybody
put them on the
needs
line.
old school. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody needs old school.
Yes, they
kind of
do.
going by the wayside.
Yeah, I was
And
gone.
It's just how I am and how I coach, how I always have. I coached my son up through rec league until he got to middle school, and I was old school with him. And
And this being a semi-pro league, you can probably get a little bit away with it more than, like, say, at a high school level, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because those are younger athletes, and nowadays, PC world that we live in, nobody wants to be yelled at.
No accountability.
Yeah, no accountability, responsibility. But, it's awesome. I love that.
Coach, I appreciate that, you saying that, because I've got 2 daughters, and they play travel, club, whatever. They're not playing for nobody. It's not like you in old school. I ain't having it. I'm old school with them. I treat them like 2 dudes, and I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate coaches that really come out and say they're old school. That's the way you're a player's coach. I mean, you tell them the truth. You be honest with them.
Right.
It's terrible. You're terrible. Whatever. That's the way you got to be. Because being honest.
Truth to truth.
I like it.
Exactly. Constructive criticism. We don't go cry about it. We get better.
That's right.
That's how you get better.
That's how you get better.
Don't just pamper them.
Nope.
Easy question for you. Give us your background. Where are you from and all that?
Well, I went to Grissom High School, played there. Then I played 4-year scholarship at Jacksonville State.
Nice.
Then I came back and coached at New Hope for about 8 years, basketball, and then went to Grissom and did a little bit of basketball and softball. And then I retired 3 years ago.
Or so you thought.
Best thing ever. I thought I did, yes.
Until Timothy said, no, you ain't.
Yes.
Wow. So how did this conversation even come about? Like, how did it happen, Coach? Like,
it probably more of what I seen from her last year in the stands.
Coaching from the stands. Was she coaching from the stands?
Yeah. Well, she came to a lot of our practices.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, okay.
She did a few things too. So when we was looking for a coach and stuff like that, we had a couple other candidates, but she ended up being a perfect candidate.
That's awesome.
I get excited sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure the officials love you. But you know what? A technical here or there, that just motivates everybody.
I haven't had one yet.
Oh, well.
My assistant coach.
Really? I always thought you'd have been the quiet one out of the bunch. Wow, okay. Well, ain't nothing wrong with a good technical every now and then.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Keep everything going. Well, talk about maybe some of, the starters and your team this year. I did look them up. Some I didn't see. A lot of them didn't have the pictures there, so I didn't know who they were, where they came from. But all of them are pretty much local guys, right?
Yeah, most of them are, saying Jeffrey Moss still with us. Darian Leslie still with us. Taylor Legacy. Her son, Phil DesRosier. Okay. Those are returning starters or most of our playmakers. Then Shaky Wigley, he played at Gaston State. He won our primary bigs.
Okay.
And say they know we have a few other new guys and stuff like that, but they'll say we got a pretty good start. It started the season. You got a lot of learning. I got a new coach,
new system,
new system and stuff like that. Yeah, most definitely new system because we're in a whole different system than it was last year. So, but they'll say a 4-1 start. We lost a close one last week. But we'll bounce back.
Yeah, you can learn from those though.
Yeah.
Speaking of old school, so. You've got a guy going to the hole. He's 2 feet away from laying it up, and then he kicks it out to the corner for a 3. You good with that? That's the new way of the game.
If we make it, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I like the layup, though. If you're wide open, take it. Get the points.
Thank you.
If it is wide open,
if it's not being defended, why are you passing the ball?
Yes. And, if we're up 15 and you want to kick it out, that's fine. Or if we're down 15 with 3 minutes, but take the 2 points.
Yeah. It's just the game's changed so much, hasn't it?
It has.
Since we've all,
sure has.
grown up with it.
But, fundamentals are fundamentals. Basketball is still basketball.
That's true, too. 3-point stance, and all that good stuff. And that's what wins games. So what do you like to do offensively? What's your philosophy? And I mean, is it? I mean,
Score.
do you utilize the 3-point line a lot?
We run a lot of just a motion flex offense where everybody. We don't. We could run 5 guards or 5 bigs because everybody's cycling through doing the same thing.
Okay. Now, can y'all play a zone in ABA?
We can.
Okay. Do y'all play much zone?
We start usually in man, but if we have to adjust, if somebody's killing it outside, we will make an adjustment. But mostly man. Okay. But occasionally we do drop back in a 3-2 zone some to shut down their outside.
So man's your primary go-to?
Yep.
Okay. And I forgot, man. How long are the games? How many is it?
Yeah, it's 12-minute quarters.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? 48
total, right? So
48 total.
Probably not a whole lot of full court pressing then, I guess.
We do
a lot of full court.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy smoke! How deep do you go off the bench so far this year?
Well, we only have 10, and they can all play. But usually when we put somebody in, we're not losing anything.
Okay.
We put somebody in, and we're that strong that we can sub in and out and keep fresh legs in, which is great.
It is great.
When you got that 4-point shot, I mean, and we're talking about full court press. I mean, does that have an effect on cutting down the other team's 4-point attempts? Or
I think that's the whole beauty of the ABA. You know, it's a little different than the NBA. So these different rules, you know, we call it 3D. You know, where the ball get turned over the backcourt, you know, you get that extra point, you know, 3-pointer be 4 points, 2 points be 3. Yeah. It's a free throw, you get extra free throw. So, full court press, that's the whole reason. And I think a lot of teams started pressing because of us. In our year one, we was pressing and we was getting the ball turned over a lot, and a lot of teams didn't press it. It's not pro basketball. Now you see a lot of teams pressing now.
You took advantage of it early. They got catching up.
So now a lot of teams are pressing now. So, that's the whole point of a lot of team pressing, you know. But, you know, when you get on certain courts like James Clemens courts, you know, a lot of teams come up here. Our court is a lot bigger than some of the other teams. Yeah, they don't last long. You know, by the fourth quarter,
wore out.
They wore out. So,
and I knew the 4 points had something to do with within the backcourt, and I couldn't remember what the rule was. So.
Yeah, and then also, you know, then you do got a 5-pointer if you hit a half-court shot. You know,
oh wow!
Oh, okay.
So it's a little different rule, but you don't got 7 seconds to get it up.
Yeah,
get it up.
It's fast.
It's a lot faster. A lot of fast.
There's a 24. What's the possession? 24 seconds possession.
So you got a guy going up for the layup, and he kicks it out to the half court.
Yeah, there we go. Get that 5. Get that 5.
You better not. Now that one I'll have.
You got to work that play in, coach.
That's our game winner right there.
I don't know. That might be a situation where you need to set that play up. Down by 5 with 2 seconds to go.
Because the odds of making that shot are really good.
Well, I mean, you know.
Middle Arch Lemon could make it.
Yeah.
Back there.
Now, where did your son play high school ball?
He played at Grissom.
Okay, so you stayed there pretty much since you in that same area? Okay. Did you go play college anywhere?
He did not. He had a lot of offers, but they were D3, smaller schools, and none of them had his major, and so he was smart enough to go to Auburn and get that degree. So he ended up playing club ball at Auburn.
Oh, yeah.
Which was fun and good. They travel, and it's pretty big.
It's a big deal. Absolutely.
So at least he got to keep playing. But he got that degree that pays him money now.
Yes. Well, good for him. That's perfect. I'm still waiting on my call. I don't know. It's been 5 years now. You know, I send you emails, texts. You know, I'm 5'5", I'm 58. I've had 4 back surgeries, hip replacement, but I can go.
Hey, can you give us 2 minutes?
My wife would say no. So.
Okay.
I hear you, John. That's awesome.
On the court. That's what I'm talking about on the court. Yeah,
okay.
That's what I mean.
Man, I asked my brother-in-law about you guys, and he knew. He said, we played in their Pro-Am tournament this summer. My team won it. We were stacked.
Who's
my brother-in-law's name's Zane.
No way.
Stop.
We want Zane to come play with us.
You don't either.
He played this summer with my son at Oakwood.
That's right. Zane blew something out. I don't know what he blew out, but he blew it out bad, and it was his calf. Something, man.
Just recently?
No, it's been a while back. And now he's one of the wrestling coaches at Athens. He wrestles, and then he comes over to my house at midnight and jumps in our pool with the water's about 20. Man, I ain't doing that. I'll just be sore in the morning. But he was bragging about you guys, about how good you guys are and how good of an organization.
I appreciate it.
But it is. Y'all done a really good job. I mean, besides being, assistant coach, you having to do all the sponsorship stuff, right? Get the money coming in.
The
and,
modern day Jackie Boone, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Hey, I like that.
That's awesome.
I love
that.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Being one of the owners, you got a good front office that, trying to help keep getting these partnerships and sponsors in. We got a lot more in this year than we ever had.
Oh, good for you.
So, and then also we getting other people coming to our games. Like our last home game, we had one of the scouts for the Big Three came in.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And, and they'll say, giving, looking at some of our guys, and one of our trainers is possibly going to be going and be a trainer for them this summer for the Big Three.
Oh, wow. So you're advancing folks.
Yeah, I always say this is a platform for everybody that's in our circle. So not just for the players, but it can be for coaches.
Yeah, I'm probably going to the NBA.
There we go. and we'll say we knew you win.
I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. They tell you what kind of organization y'all are running, and because people are obviously seeing it, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
For those that don't know, the Big Three is something Ice Cube started 3 years ago, maybe. This might be going to year 4, I think.
Yeah.
I love that concept, man. I watch it.
Yeah, and this past year, give a shout out to him. One of the players that was in the ABA, he played this year, and he showed out this year, and he was Rookie of the Year.
Shows the level of play ABA is.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So he went to the trials and didn't make the team, didn't make it for 3 years in a row, and kept going, and they took a risk on him this year, and
there it is.
Yeah,
awesome.
Now he can be a captain.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So a great story.
And that's been a pretty good story, too, with the whole that league, because I'm not going to lie to you, when it first started, I'm like, man, I don't know if anybody's going to watch this. Yeah. Crap. They have good attendance. I think TV's doing well.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and think I'm going to watch 5 minutes of it, and next thing you know, I'll watch 2 hours of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just.
He did an awesome job with it. So, I'm glad to be able to be on their radar just a little bit.
That's awesome, man. Good for y'all.
So has a rivalry emerged these 5 years?
Right now, our rivalry is probably the Atlanta Aliens out of Atlanta.
Y'all got them tonight, right?
No, we have an
different Atlanta team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was they moved our regions, and it was the Mobile team, and they under construction a little bit right now. So right now our rival is Atlanta Aliens. Okay. They the one that knocked us out of the playoffs last year.
Oh yeah.
So we always go toe to toe with them, and Coach Duck out of Atlanta, get a shout out to him. He one of mentors that I had when I first came in the league that really taught me a lot, about what they're doing right now. But they always go toe to toe with us. So that's pretty much our rival right now. So
okay. Now, how many teams is in the league again this year?
I think it's like 135.
Okay. And every year, man, y'all had opportunities to say, it says a lot. I mean, to be able to go through that kind of gauntlet to even get as far as y'all have gotten says a lot. So hopefully, that's going to continue, Coach, and we hope it does. And what about crowd wise? I mean, I know it probably fluctuates depending on what night of the week and what's going on in the community. But
they'll say get through this Auburn, Alabama gauntlet.
Yeah.
In November. Usually they'll say, crowds start picking up, December going into the beginning of the year. But tennis did go up last year a lot, towards the, they'll say that, around about December time frame. So I think people noticing, and now we linking up with a lot more schools now. And with our new trainer, VSI Unlimited, Kerryon Johnson's dad.
Yeah. He still I didn't know they still had it.
He trained all our players.
That's awesome.
So we actually got a place where the guys can train now.
Yeah, that's a good facility. I've been over there.
So that's another step up for us. Now guys come in, they can get, they can go get some good training outside of just practice and stuff like that now.
Because they need it.
Yeah.
I mean, and all those guys, it's in their job. They've got jobs and stuff. And time is limited. And how often do y'all practice?
Twice a week. One night at VSI and then one night James Clemens.
Okay. Yeah. That makes it tough, too. 2 nights a week practicing in ball games. How many games a week usually? One
or two.
Yeah. Because travel's so it's not like you can just go one county over.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
Well, it's been fun, y'all. Time's short, but we appreciate y'all joining us.
Yeah.
Good luck tonight. and the rest of the season. And
be keeping up with y'all.
Yeah, and we'll get y'all back on for sure.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Coach, that's Mr. Timothy Jones of the North Alabama War Dawgs, Miss Alicia DesRosier, the head coach of the War Dawgs. And we're going to take a quick break. You'll listen to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on the Big 1080, WKAC, and the PAS Plus app.
Bring a little caffeination inspiration to your next event with Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. Turn up the heat in these cooler months with their signature products, including a full coffee menu, white chocolate mocha, lattes, frappes, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. Travelin' Tom serves events of any size, concerts, neighborhood block parties, high school football games, you name it. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens is sure to make any event a little sweeter. Visit Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens on Facebook or call them at 434-1734. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Alabama. This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Applebee's Tailgate Talk wants to recognize our local athletes, and you can help. Go to tailgatetalk.net throughout the school year to vote for the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. The winner receives a Tailgate Talk t-shirt from That Shirt Printing Place. Submit your own nominations for future polls, too. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Cast your vote today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Tailgate Talk. We're back now with more of our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk.
We have all three of them here. Bryce Osmond, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. So, welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Welcome to Madison, North Alabama.
Thank you.
Now, I was asking you, is this your first stop in minor league? And you told me what you told me. So, to let everybody know where you been, what you been up to.
My first stop after my first spring training was in Tri-City in Washington with the Tri-City Dust Devils in High A.
That's Washington State.
That's Washington State. That's the Pacific Northwest.
And they are what level?
That's High A.
High, okay.
Yeah. We've been playing in Seattle, Oregon. You know, like I said, the Pacific Northwest. It's been a little rainy. It's been a little cold.
Yeah. So then you get to the southeast,
and now I'm back in the south. And I had my first start in Mississippi last week, and I'm sweating like nobody's business.
Yes.
I'm going to the rousing bag every pitch, but I am happy to be down south.
Were you happy with your first start here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe not here, but Mississippi was a great start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Right-handed, right?
Yep.
Okay.
How long? Go ahead, Ty.
Like growing up, was like baseball just it? Like, was that your love, or did you play other sports?
I played baseball. Well, actually, growing up, I played everything. But once I started to, pick, I went with baseball and football, and then by my sophomore year of high school, I was all baseball.
Yeah.
So
travel ball,
always.
Yeah, so we didn't have all that growing up.
No, we didn't have travel ball.
We played everything. Everything wasn't so like nowadays. As young as you are, you almost have to choose a sport.
Pretty early.
I mean, you really do.
You got to be pretty dedicated from a pretty young age. Yeah.
And I hate that for y'all. I mean, I kind of do because getting to play multiple sports is just I don't know, broadens everything. But it's just fun. You meet different people, but
don't get burnt out sometimes. There's a lot of burnout going on.
But at the same time,
the depth of that,
y'all have the opportunity of getting so much better at the sport that you do choose. Because it's so focused. So there's benefits.
There are pros and cons.
There are absolutely
pros and cons.
Talk about the grind, man. Did you go to college or did you come out of high school?
So I got drafted out of high school, but I turned it down and went to Oklahoma State. I've been at Oklahoma State for the last 3 years.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the grind, like college baseball it's a big jump from high school baseball for sure in terms of usage and all of that.
Just the playing on the fields. I mean, the fields.
The Division One
from high school to Division One.
It's a pretty big jump. Like I said,
big jump.
The other thing is like you're 18 years old playing against some guys that are 22 and 23, and like at that point, like I mean,
that matters.
It's kind of boys against men at some points. You know what I mean? Especially at some of these bigger schools, but. Honestly, like that kind of helped a lot to make this transition too. You know what I mean? Because once again,
maturity's quicker,
definitely, and then you get into pro ball, and once again, there's some boys and there's some men. There's some big bodies out there. There's some big bodies on the team in Mississippi too. There's been guys all over the place that I've seen in the South that have just been big bodies, but. I mean, coming from Oklahoma State, I played with. I started from my freshman year on.
Okay.
And so I was 18 playing.
Starter, right?
Starting pitcher. Like I was playing against big bodies from like day one on, and the transition from there to here has been fairly easy, but the grind is definitely like on a whole different level. It is a grind. There's just so much more baseball in minor league baseball than you ever play in college. It's hard to compare.
6-game series y'all play, especially when you're on the road.
Right, and I'm used to a weekend 3-game series.
There you go.
And maybe a midweek. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of baseball. It is a grind for sure.
How many nights will you pitch normally in a week period?
Once.
Okay, because you've been starter.
Yeah, I mean, I had a game a weekend, and that was it.
Wow. Yeah. So how many's in the rotation right now?
How many of us? There's 5 right now. So we're working a 5-man. I've gone the Tuesday and the Sunday a couple times this season, which is like kind of crazy to me. But I mean, it's professional baseball, and we're managed differently. You know what I mean? When you're just throwing once a week, you can be left out there for 110, 120 pitches. But when there's a chance that when you are going on a 5-man, you can't do that. So it's different.
What is the day in the life of a starting pitcher when they're not starting and you're out in the bullpen and and you're just there?
You got to think that the game starts at 6:30. The day starts at 1:30.
Okay.
So the starting pitcher gets all of his work in from about 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock or so. You know what I mean? I try to get in and get everything taken care of in terms of rehab, or I got to get touched up by the trainer a little bit. I'm a little banged up. I got to get some rubbing or cold tub, hot tub, whatever it is. You got to take care of some stuff before the game. And then once it's game time, you just get to hang out and enjoy the game. And it's been really cool to hang out and enjoy some games in Huntsville because the atmosphere it's been pretty electric.
Yeah, it's pretty electric. A lot of energy.
No doubt.
No doubt. Yeah. We're happy for you to be here.
Absolutely.
Getting to experience it, man.
Absolutely.
How old are you again?
23.
Yeah, so to be, and that's the same age as my son. Yeah, to be such a young guy and getting able to see a lot of different parts of the country and play against some guys.
It has been very cool.
That not just them, but yourself may be playing against each other in the major leagues.
No doubt.
One day down the road, and obviously that's your ultimate goal, right? Is to get to the majors.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it has been since I was little. So it's really cool to feel like you're not too far away.
I was going to say, you're making it happen right now, buddy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, are you Hayden?
I'm Hayden.
All right. Hayden Seig. Is that you say your last name?
Seig.
Yep,
perfect.
All right. Man, I was reading about you last night, dude, and you've got a wonderful, really testimony, to be honest. I read about your car wreck.
Sure, yeah.
Accident. I saw you played at St. Joe's.
That's right.
That sounded like a wonderful experience.
Mm-hmm.
Read a little bit about where, with COVID and all, you got that opportunity to go back for, I guess, was it your 5th year or was it your 4th year?
5th year.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought it was your 5th year. That sounded like that worked out really well for you. Gave you opportunity to work on your game a little bit.
Absolutely.
I loved the story I was reading about, how, the coaching staff, your teammates, everybody. It seemed like a pretty tight-knit group and
Absolutely.
all. And I read a little something about you were struggling with performance anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about that. Were you just nervous before you took the mound?
Man, yeah. I think, the interesting thing about what I experienced with the performance anxiety was I didn't actually know what was going on. I would get out there and I'd feel good in the bullpen. I'd feel ready to go, and I'd get on the mound and I'd almost feel lost. It was something I had never experienced before. I'm 20 years old. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but had you always experienced, or just come out of the blue?
No, out of the blue. So out of the blue, I had struggled. I can't necessarily pinpoint the one time that I started to feel it, but over a series of games, it was in the summer of I think 19. It was the summer of 19. I really started to struggle, and I reached a point where I said, you know what? Like, I can just tell that my mind is not in the same place that it used to be. Some of the confidence, some of the level of just the level of play was not the same. I was like, but I haven't changed, So I was like, where's my mind going? It's going crazy. I've played this game since I was 4 years old. I've been able to throw strikes.
Was it affecting any other parts of your life?
Not at all.
Just
sports,
baseball.
just baseball.
Wow.
Just baseball. Yeah. And my heart would race. Like, I could feel it race, and I was like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
But, it was interesting because I got to learn a lot about the mental side of the game. And I feel like that's prepared me in sports in general. I don't know where I'd be at with that accident and everything had I not gone through a lot of the mental training that I've gone through to get to where I am now. So
talk a little bit about the accident. I think from what I read, y'all were you were actually in a campus van or something, right?
Sure, yeah.
Y'all were going to training or something?
I was with the Angels. It was my first week with the Angels, and it was just an unfortunate accident. The circumstances, just somebody tried to cut us off, and we ended up in an accident. I ended up breaking my femur. I hadn't thrown a pitch yet for the Angels. So
the leg you push off the mound with, or opposite?
The pushing leg, yeah, my back right leg.
Wow.
So that was an unfortunate start to my Angels career, but they handled it amazing. They gave me the support that I needed. I was back on the field the next year. I didn't even miss a game. I was there for opening day.
Wow.
So about 6 months I was out, and I was 7 months I was out and back on the field. That was quite a taxing recovery, though.
Well, it says a lot about who you are as a person and as a player, because really, I would think in those circumstances, I could have just said, you know what, we gave it a shot, buddy. Good luck, holler if your leg ever gets better. Maybe we'll give you another tryout. But
yeah, no, they were great about it because I didn't have the best year last year, and they supported me the whole way through. They said, you know what, you're coming back from something pretty serious. So they supported me through some difficult times last year, and I think it helped me get to where I'm at now, no doubt.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
Sparkling internet, oh so bright. Gigabit speed spread pure delight. Stream and play without delay with a fiber connection faster than Santa's sleigh. Get ready to be gigging around the Christmas tree with internet from Ardmore Telephone Company. Join the holiday cheer and call 800-830-9946 to upgrade today. ATC is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
So how do you like the Huntsville area so far?
Oh, it's nice. I didn't even know half of this was here. They were driving around to get me out here. It was the first time I got to see anything. I'm in the hotel this week, so I haven't gotten to see much.
You're new, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got here last Friday, but no, it's amazing, and the environment at the field is unreal. You know, you feel like you're playing professional baseball, and that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, I just can't imagine what it would feel like for you to be able to take that mound, look up, man. The crowds here are generally sold out, for the most part.
Sure.
Even if, right now we're not really in the playoff hunt.
Sure.
But,
no, it's fun.
You're going to love it, dude.
Yeah. Signing autographs. The kids are excited. The fans are excited. They're into the game. And it's good baseball,
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
It's been a blast.
You come out of the pen. Do you like coming out of the pen?
I love it. It's nice to be able to throw a couple times a week. The starters get their chance to throw 6-7 innings in one game.
Yeah.
I get my chance to throw 2 or 3 times a week. And I enjoy it. I enjoy throwing at the later ends of the game and being in those spots. And it's good. So I started in the pen my last year or all throughout college. So, no, it was good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So coming out of the pen like you do you find it like, you're in the bullpen, right? Everybody, the starting pitchers, everybody's out there, right? Sure. Starters who aren't, their start might not be for 3 or 4 more games. They're probably kind of just goofing off a little bit because they don't have to be that focused.
Sure.
But you have to be.
Yeah.
You may be called in.
I think the cool thing about the bullpen is you're able to flip the switch usually around like the fifth inning or so. You're just watching the game and hanging out. I mean, it's tough to be laser focused like you're in the game for 140 games throughout the season. So you have to be able to find that balance of like keeping it relaxed out in the bullpen until your name is called, or a little bit before that where you're starting to get ready where you think your name might be called. So, no, the bullpen's a great environment, guys that are supporting each other and picking each other up, and definitely have a lot of fun out there, but also know when to flip the switch and get ready for the game.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thanks a lot, Hayden.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Sorry, I missed
No, you're good.
I was off in the other area. And we're going to just roll right along to our next guest, Sammy Natera, the only lefty on the staff. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, Hayden Seig, for joining us. The only lefty on the staff. My wife is left-handed.
Really?
So unless you know lefties, you don't know lefties.
I always heard y'all were mean. Huh? I'm kidding. I always heard y'all were mean.
You just know Debbie.
Well, I just know his wife. She's the sweetest thing in the world.
Now, one of our other guys that joins us, Coach Legg, he's a lefty. So I just go talk lefty a little bit. As you were coming up pitching, playing baseball, do you bat left as well? You're full-blown lefty.
Yes, I did. I used to be a first baseman, actually.
Did you? Okay. You experienced the first baseman lefty part.
I did.
See, that's a lost start that a lot of folks don't. When we were growing up, Todd, if you had a left-hander, it's one of the first things coaches ask. If you had a left-hander, we got a left-hander.
Yeah, they just automatically.
You're at first base.
Yeah.
And I asked my dad, why? He said, "Well,
because it's closer.
Because it's closer. The right hand on the glove on the right hand."
But also growing up, and I won't speak for Tom, but I think he probably felt this way. We didn't see too many left-handed pitchers, and he would freak us out, man.
Booby.
Y'all were up there. Yeah.
Booby Mayberry, the fastest
Willie
pitcher.
Mayberry, man. We played against this kid. He threw smoke.
Really? He threw 70 miles an hour.
And he might throw about one out of
arm.
every 6 pitches was coming at you. He just didn't have that good control like you do. So, but anyway, did you find that growing up? I mean, the right-handed batter seemed a little bit, especially when you were younger, right? 15, 14, whatever.
No, yeah, of course. When I was hitting, when I used to hit, when I faced lefties, I would be
You didn't
scared.
like it either? Okay.
Yeah, I would be
go.
scared because as a lefty,
it's like
it just
it's coming
looks,
right at you.
it looks like it's going to hit you.
Yeah.
And, I was definitely not excited to face lefties when growing up.
Yeah. Well, talk to us a little bit. You played in New Mexico, is that right?
Yeah, I went to New Mexico State, yeah.
So that's a dry heat out there.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think about the humidity coming to the southeast?
Oh, it's different. When I got out of the airport, I felt like someone was just like pushing my shoulders down.
Yeah.
It was just like pushing me down. I was like, okay, I got to get used to this.
Now,
it takes a little bit.
Here?
What was that?
Is this your second week here now?
Yeah, second week here.
Okay, yeah. So you did experience a little bit of that nice heat wave we had last week.
Yeah.
Little brutal.
Oh, Lord, that was something.
Yeah, it was. Well, so what do you think of the area so far and everything? I mean, I know the stadium.
I love
awesome,
it here. I love it here. It's just like this just feels right, like the environment, like the people, like everyone cares about you, like a lot of support. You can just feel it that like everyone cares.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel good, and like you feel good, you play good. So
that's true. It does. You're right.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. I don't know. And I should have asked off air, but the Trash Pandas have like a booster club that where a lot of minor league teams do.
Yeah, they do. They have
a booster club, and a family will adopt a player. I mean, you've only been here a couple of weeks, so that might not even had time to transaction. But
I'm sure they do
because it does. It goes back to that. I'm telling you, man. This whole area. I mean, the South in general, but this area, North.
They love their
Alabama,
ball players.
They love their ball
team.
players. They love each other. I mean,
you got
they're going to stop and help you if you need help. The
Havoc, the hockey team.
Yeah.
The Rock City Trash Pandas is newer, but the area, and of course it's last part of the season, so we hope you come back next year as well. But it's
well. And speaking of which, so not many games left in the season. Unless Yammer actually make the playoffs, which looks a little out of reach right now. But so where do you go during off season? Where's home for you?
Home for me is in Juarez, Mexico.
Wow.
So I go all the way to Mexico.
Now, how far south?
Hang on a second. Back up. What part of Mexico did you say?
Juarez.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Juarez. Okay, that's on the west coast.
That's north. That's border city with El Paso, Texas.
Okay. Border city with El Paso. Okay. See, I went to Mexico City through Nuevo Laredo. That's further. Juarez will be farther west of that. Yeah. So that's great. Okay, I apologize. Todd, back to you.
This humidity shouldn't be bothering you a lick, then.
No. Just remind him a little bit.
When you go home, do you play like any fall ball or like any fall leagues or anything?
So there's a winter ball league in Mexico, and I'm with a team over there. Okay. But since I'm already around 100 innings this year, and I'm going to go to Instructs with Bryce, too.
Okay.
We're going to go to Instructional League. Instructional League.
Okay, now where would that be?
Arizona.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, we're going to be there next month. And I don't know. I got to talk to the team and see if they let me go play.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because now when you reach certain levels, there's certain things they're not going to want you to do because they got a nice investment in you and don't want you to get overthrown or hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
But, have you had any injuries in your young career?
Oh, yeah. Last year I had my biggest, I would say, injury as a pitcher. I had my shoulder, I had labrum tear and stuff.
Did you really? Tore labrum? That's tough.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Learn a lot about myself.
Yeah, rehab's not fun on that.
It's not. Last year in college, I didn't throw as much because of that. And then...
Did you tear it throwing, or do you know?
It was like a small tear, and there was like more stuff going on there.
Okay.
And I got to professional baseball. Didn't throw a baseball. My first bullpen with the organization was in spring training.
Oh, wow.
This year, yeah.
Okay.
It's been a fun one.
Oh, sounds like it, bless you. So, but as far as the way it feels now, like you feel 100% back, you think?
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more I can add this offseason, and that's what we're shooting for. But I'm just grateful to be able to throw and pitch and compete, because last year was a whole different story, and I'm just grateful to be here.
It is not fun when you can't be out there doing what you love to do, man.
It's
Absolutely.
a frustrating time, yeah.
Yeah, I hate to see any athlete. I don't even care if they're 14, 10. I don't care. When you love to do something like that and you can't do it, it's just,
Yeah.
I know. So
absolutely.
I'm glad you made it back through.
Appreciate it.
Well, buddy, we appreciate you joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Sammy Natera, left-handed pitcher for the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Also had Hayden, Seig, and Bryce Osmond, both right-handed pitchers. It's time to take a break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Listen this basketball season as WKAC brings you action from the Athens High Golden Eagles. Join us for play-by-exciting play of varsity girls and boys games on our sports stream at WKAC1080.com. Tune in to WKAC and hear the replay each Saturday at noon, and then check it out on our website on demand. Athens High Golden Eagles basketball this season online at WKAC1080.com and on the air at 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
This guest right here is special.
Yeah, he is.
Tide, I'm going to give you the honor, buddy. Introduce him.
Well, first of all, Roll Tide. Yeah, you just want me to say his name, screw it up. Coach.
No. I want you to say Roll Tide.
What we decided to say, Coach, is it Tesoriero? Coach Tesoriero. There we go, Coach. Coming out of the gate, man, against Central Oklahoma, you were probably wondering what what kind of team you might have, or was Central Oklahoma just that good?
Central Oklahoma, they are, ranked number 5 in the nation.
Oh, well, there we go.
They've been going to the tournament every year, and they're in the Final Four. They are a heck of a hockey team. And when you have, 9 true freshmen, not out of juniors, it's a wake-up call. It's an experience right there.
Yeah. Well, I think y'all got outscored something like 2-24 in the 2 games y'all played, so that was definitely a wake-up call.
Wow.
We scored 2? I thought we only scored 1.
I think y'all had – yeah, that's what I think I looked up. But either way, it was ugly. But the last 2 nights, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
First of all, when are we going to get some ice there on campus? Maybe can't you convince them to put ice in Foster? Man, that'd be awesome.
Well, there's that. There's a couple different places that you can put it. I know they just did the renovation at the basketball facility. That would have been a perfect opportunity to maybe put some compressors in where you can just put the court on top.
Like we do up here in Huntsville.
There.
Yeah.
So, it's trending in the right direction. We have a Build-A-Rink on campus foundation going on. There's a lot of support around it. And, hopefully it happens in a few years. I know Georgia's building a rink on campus.
Okay.
And, if you got other SEC teams doing it, I don't want to be the last one doing it.
Right. Well, yes. And there's no reason why the University of Alabama should be the last one to do it. It's not like we don't have a couple of dollars laying around.
There's a couple when you make a bowl game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. But I know Auburn's also in the process of possibly building a rink on campus. So, there's options there. We just got to find the right people to, kind of get the ball rolling pretty much.
Yeah. So explain to folks, including myself, so obviously Alabama's a D1 school, but you're in the American Collegiate Hockey Association, which is it governed by the NCAA? How does that work?
So it's not governed by the NCAA. This is considered a club
hockey.
Well, I thought it was club. So.
Yeah, this is club hockey, but it's the highest level of club hockey that you can play in the country.
So with that said, do y'all have any scholarships available, whether they're even partial or not, to give to any of these kids?
No, not for myself. No. One of the biggest things I focus on for the kids is, the price of tuition is, pretty high for Alabama. It's a prestigious school. If you go to class, get good grades, get on the dean's list, maybe we get some scholarship money that way for yourself. Okay. I kind of pride myself on these kids are here for school as well as hockey. There is a life after hockey for a lot of these guys, right? Not a lot of them are going to go play pro hockey or anything like that.
Right.
It's more, I got a lot of engineers. I had criminal justice. I have kinesiology. And, I try to help them focus on, their craft. Yeah. So when they're said and done here, enjoying their 4 to 5 years at Alabama, they're set up for the world and the future.
Well, and good for you for being able to do that and help them with that, because obviously, with any athlete, you're there to get an education. But, how cool would it be able to say that you graduated from University of Alabama, you played 3 or 4 years of hockey at that level. Not everybody can play at that level.
No, exactly.
People say it's club, but it's not like it's, some guys just getting on some back ice in their pond and just going out there and hit with a stick. This is high-level hockey. But,
No, it's the highest level we could find, especially here in the state of Alabama, right? It's not the most, well-known sport around here, but it's slowly growing, especially in the South with the Nashville Predators, the Tampa Bay Lightning doing well. We're getting more kids coming through the program. More kids are more interested in hockey, especially at the Pelham Civic Complex. It's, the teams in the South, when they do well, we seem to get more traction with hockey and never know what the future holds.
So you play your games in Pelham, Birmingham. How often are y'all able to practice during the season? Do y'all go there every day and practice? That's, an hour plus drive, I guess, around the hour?
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes. Okay. I try and give it on the light side depending on traffic. We practice Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Obviously they're able to go to class. We practice 9:15 at night, 9:15 to about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And these kids, I know I'm asking a lot of them to come down late at night, things like that. But they come to practice every day, and we're there to work. There's no time off. We only have 90 minutes on the ice, give or take, and we can't waste a minute of it.
I'm sure.
When we do drills, water, as I'm explaining a drill on the board, they're bringing the water over there. They're getting hydrated. We're getting right into the next drill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hockey players are just – y'all are a different breed of athlete. I mean, you played at a very high level. And, I mean, I always admired you, like, you know, back in your SPHL days. It wasn't like y'all were making, you know, millions of dollars. You were not. But you love the game so much, you're willing to put your body through all of that, you know. And with you being, I won't say an enforcer, but you like to mix it up a little bit. You probably play banged up quite a bit from night to night. But you love the game. And hockey, like I say, they're a lot like wrestlers. I don't know. Y'all are just different breeds of athletes. The way you think and the love for the game just takes over all the other stuff. It's just amazing to me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, when you play something your whole life, like I was playing for probably 15, 20 years, and then, you know, you get the opportunity to do it and make a little bit of money on the side. You know, the money didn't matter to me. It was the fact that I was able to do what I did as a child and excel at my craft, best way I could put it, become obsessed with it to give me an opportunity to play at a higher level.
Well, and you did that. Tim had mentioned before the show started that you actually spent a little bit of time here with us at the Huntsville Havoc. Obviously, I think it was only like 17 games from what I believe. I
got traded there.
Okay, I wondered if it was a trade. I didn't know how. And you were in Pensacola with the Ice Flyers at the time, so they probably kind of sucked, I guess, leaving that weather to come up here. I mean, obviously we don't have terrible weather, but it's not Pensacola weather.
No, I mean, you know, I love Pensacola. Pensacola is my home. I met my wife there.
Okay.
Couldn't ask for anything. I mean, I'm from Colorado, but you know, meeting my wife there, I consider that my second home. It was tough. I mean, I was in Pensacola for a year straight, probably a year and a half before I got traded to Huntsville.
Yeah. And plus, y'all were having a good season at the time, were you not?
Yeah, we were doing pretty well. They ended up winning the championship that year.
That's what I thought. So, then you come to Huntsville, and we were not having a good season.
we lost to them. We lost in the first round of playoffs.
Oh, geez.
When I was in Huntsville. So, and I couldn't even play. I got a concussion. last game of the year against Fayetteville.
Oh, so you didn't
playoff games.
So you didn't even get to get back on the ice to repay any of the guys that might have lit you up in practice.
I would have loved to be on the ice in that game. That's for sure. You know, I mean, you're a family when you're on a team, but you know, you remember some things that happen.
Absolutely.
So I would have loved to be there for that.
Oh, man.
But no, I mean, it is what it is. I came to Huntsville off of a trade. Literally drove in, stayed the night, and I was on a bus to Louisiana to play the Ice Gators the next night. Wow. And that was my first time being traded. You know, it's part of the business. You know, it's not just for fun at that point. It's a life, and you got to do what you have to make it work.
Still got to make you feel funny, though, right? Like, man, what was I doing wrong? And obviously you probably weren't. They just, you know, needed to make a move. But
no, and I mean, me and the coach that traded me are still good friends. Like, we talk to this day. And, you know, there's no bad blood between us. It's part of the business. Obviously, he made the trade to bring somebody in that helped them win a championship. Can I be mad about that? Can I fault him? No. I mean, you're looking at how to benefit your team as best you can with the salary cap and everything. And, you know, unfortunately, I was one of the players that had to be moved.
Yeah. Well, getting back to Alabama hockey, you've got like Illinois, you've got Oklahoma, some smaller schools on the schedule. You know, y'all probably aren't traveling first class, I'm guessing. How do you know? Say when you do have to go to those places, is it bus? Are y'all able to fly?
It's bus.
Oh, geez.
I mean, we're gonna fly to Chicago for the showcase. You know, for that's right before Thanksgiving, and I know the kids have a little bit of a break, so we're gonna fly to Chicago, play the 3 games up there against Illinois State, Northern Illinois, and Rhode Island.
Okay.
And we're right in Midway. It's a lot easier for these guys to get home. Not a lot of them are from Alabama area.
Right.
You know, I got guys from Pennsylvania, Boston. I got California. So instead of flying out of Birmingham, it's a lot easier for them in Midway to branch out and get home for that, 5 or 6 days to spend time with their families.
Yeah. Well, how do you, with no scholarships to offer, how are you convincing some of these kids that do live, you know, several miles away? Like, how do you sell them on, man, University of Alabama hockey is where you need to be? That's got to be a tough sell.
Probably the girls.
It's, I compete with a lot of the smaller schools like Ohio University, Adrian, Minot, Liberty University over in Virginia.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, that degree, from Alabama, I know the money that goes into it, but it's going to pay it forward when you're done.
Yeah.
It carries a lot of weight. That cursive A, when you go into a job interview, everyone knows it's a prestigious university, like I said, and it's going to help you in the future of what you're trying to do with your life.
Yeah, that's true, without a doubt.
So tell me this, Coach. I mean, is the Alabama-Auburn / Frozen Iron Bowl rivalry as big in the hockey as it is, say, on the gridiron?
You know, our AAU team played them this year. Yes. We didn't get to play them. Normally, when I play them, you know, we have half the rink full. You know, we do a really good promotion night, get everybody there, and it's intense out there. You know, a lot of people come to see that SEC rivalry, especially the Auburn game. But this year we're not playing them. I wish we were, because I just know the crowd, the energy that it brings in. It's fantastic. But, you know, it's not as big as the football game when it comes to attendance, but the same fire and passion goes into football, goes into hockey, goes into baseball. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, best recollection, y'all don't have any SEC teams on the schedule this year, or did I miss somebody?
No. So most of the ACHA is not in the South.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, our closest trip is Oklahoma.
Jeez.
Wow.
So, I mean, our AAU team and our CHF Division III team, they'll play Georgia, they'll play Ole Miss, they'll play South Carolina, things like that. So, I mean, they have a little bit of a closer travel schedule. I believe our D1 AAU team is up in Huntsville right now playing UAH's team.
Yeah,
okay.
They played them last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask you about also, you know, with UAH just being up the road. Have y'all ever had conversations with them about a possible series?
I mean, for our Division I AAU team or D3 team, it's great. Actually, one of my players that couldn't find a job is playing on UAH. He's back playing again.
Okay.
So he, I don't know how the game went last night. I know it was tied 2-2 going into the third.
I think UAH won. I think it was a close one.
Coach, you're talking different divisions there in the college.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
There's three, I think.
3 divisions in the college.
We have 3 teams.
Explain that for us.
3 teams.
Okay.
So obviously, you know, when I first took over the job, you know, there was Kyle Richards coaching the ACHA team. We had an ACHA Division III team. We had over 80 kids at tryouts, and you're only, you know, you can take as many kids as you'd like, but, you know, for me, for practice sakes, I don't need 40, 50 guys on the ice.
Right.
I like to take 27, 28 max, so I'm only sitting a couple guys a night. Same with the, you know, the Division I team at the time. Well, the next year we had 110 kids come to tryouts.
Wow.
So these kids are coming from all walks of life, and it's like, you know, we need to give these kids an opportunity rather than playing men's league hockey in Pelham. Why don't we try and, you know, expand our hockey? So we ended up doing that, and, you know, we have our ACHA Division I team, so it's the top club hockey. You have our Division I AAU. It's a brand new league coming in, and then we have our College Hockey Federation CHF Division III team, and there's possibility of a women's team joining as well.
Wow.
Cool.
Now, on all these levels, do these kids have to take at least a minimum amount of hours at the university, or do you have to be a student to play in any and all of these leagues?
You have to be a student. You have to take 12 credits.
12 credits. Okay, there we go. Okay.
So 12 credits. I don't know about the other divisions, but for myself, you know, I do grade checks, a GPA check to make sure we're all passing classes.
Okay.
For the league, it's a 2.3. I asked for a 2.5, 2.7 at least in order to play. Because like I said earlier, you know, we're here for school. We're here to play hockey as well. It's a good thing that we're here to do that. But there's a lot of money going into your tuition, investing in your future. We got to make sure we pass our classes.
So you get these 120 kids in, they audition, they're trying out. So the best 25 or so, you get the next level goes down, and that's on that team. Is that how that works?
To an extent. I mean, it just depends on what works with their schedule. There's a lot of guys that are here for school. Like I know one kid on my team is a dual major, and he has trouble making Tuesday practices, and he's a senior. Wow. You know, he's got his lectures, and he's a senior. It is what it is. I can't really work with his schedule. I have to work with his schedule.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he can't miss those classes. But, you know, he'll show up for practice. We're on the ice at 9:15. He'll be there at 8:45, 9 o'clock. Can I fault the kid because he's trying to, you know, better his life? No. He comes to the rink, he goes to work, and he goes home and does the same thing on Thursdays.
That just puts everything. I mean, your staff, the kids, and I'm not saying this kid's situation in particular. I'm just saying in general, not having scholarship kids and it being treated, you know, like a Division I, you know, sport. Man, y'all just got a lot of obstacles in the way.
There's always a hurdle. And you know what? We're always jumping it. And like you said, staff, for myself, it's just me. I'm your
I thought you had
president, coach, equipment manager, assistant coach.
Bless you.
I'm all the above.
Wow.
When we went to Ole Miss my first year, we had a kid dislocate his shoulder, had a kid break his ribs.
Ow.
So I'm wrapping a kid's ribs, going over the insurance with the trainer, and giving my, in between period speech to get ready for the next period.
Unbelievable.
All in a matter of 20 minutes. We ended up winning that game 2-1. So
sweet.
Did you know what you were walking into when you said, yes, I want to coach this team?
I mean, there's a little bit more than I thought, but at the same time, the kids also help out as well. They're very coachable kids, and they're willing to help out when they can.
Back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this.
Sparkling internet, oh so bright. Gigabit speed spread pure delight. Stream and play without delay with a fiber connection faster than Santa's sleigh. Get ready to be gigging around the Christmas tree with internet from Ardmore Telephone Company. Join the holiday cheer and call 800-830-9946 to upgrade today. ATC is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Local People's Gas Company in Athens and Ferguson LP Gas Company in Ardmore would like to wish all their customers a happy holiday season and thank you for your support this year. Remember, with Local People's Gas and Ferguson LP Gas, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. Call Local People's Gas Company at 230-3600 or Ferguson LP Gas at 423-3320. Be listening for Limestone County Area High School basketball this season from Play Action Sports. Hear coverage of girls and boys action from ABS, Ardmore, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Lindsay Lane, Tanner, and West Limestone online at PASnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app. Afterwards, you can download each game from the archives or stream it on demand. While you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming games. Limestone County Area High School basketball from Play Action Sports. We continue with our conversation on the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
I hear some kids are looking for a place to play. Somewhere up north, they've all got glasses. I think their last name's Hanson Brothers.
I mean,
Hanson Brothers. Yeah,
I heard a little bit about them.
Yeah, if you're familiar with them, they probably would play pretty well.
They play an old school style of hockey that I wouldn't mind to bring back.
They'd probably fit in. I imagine.
Yeah. They'd fit down here perfectly. They're already missing teeth, wearing glasses. They'd be great.
Hey, y'all don't have tinfoil there in the training room, do you?
Oh man,
I can go buy some for sure if we bring
putting on the foil, man.
I know you didn't spend much time in Huntsville, but did you ever come across John Gibson by chance? I know he wasn't with the Havoc at the time in coaching or any other position, but he might have been around the team.
Or Phil Daigle, either one of those two guys.
I mean, I don't know the name off the top of my head, but when I was there, like Stu Stefan, who's the new head coach, he was my D partner.
Okay.
I played against Ty towards the end of my career when he was on Huntsville, the new assistant coach. So I mean, they're doing some good up there. I had a great time playing up there. Huntsville's a fantastic town. Especially for a guy like me from Boulder, Colorado, coming down south to being able to experience things like that. It's an eye-opening experience, and couldn't ask for anything else.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what your impression or what your pre-impression was of hockey in the South.
Yeah, so when I was playing in Denver, after I finished playing college, played 2 years for the Denver Cutthroats in the Central Hockey League where I'm from.
Now, that's a name right there, brother.
Yeah.
Denver Cutthroats.
Yeah,
buddy.
So, I enjoyed my time there. We ended up losing in the finals, and the team folded.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, so I needed to find a job. I was either going to go to Kansas City to the Mavericks, but, Pensacola offered me a job. And I didn't know what to expect down here. I had to look up where Pensacola was. I didn't even know.
Were they the Ice Pilots?
I looked it up. They were the Ice Flyers.
The Ice Flyers. Okay, so I'm dating myself. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Go ahead.
But no, I didn't know what the South entailed, so I had to look it up on Google. Back when I was still using MapQuest to get down here, because I didn't even have an iPhone at the time.
Oh wow!
But I thought it was going to be fountains, trees. Yeah, I found out differently.
That's Fort Lauderdale.
Talked about it. Yeah, we didn't know if it was going to be Dukes of Hazzard or anything like that. But,
it's closer to Dukes of Hazzard than it would be to fountains.
Just a tad. I mean, I didn't have a truck at the time. Looking at more trucks, but no, the people down here are fantastic. I can't ask for nicer people. It's not as fast paced as where I was, but everyone's nice. I found my faith a little bit more when I moved down here.
Yeah,
and I couldn't ask for anything more.
Narrow minds on the narrow way, brother.
Yep, absolutely. Listen,
before we leave Pensacola, you can't leave Pensacola without talking about the Skeeters.
No.
I'm a tire man, right? So water gets in tires, and Skeeters love tires and water, and they'll hum. You come up to roll a truck tire around, you'll hear a bunch of humming. You better bring the Skeeter repellent. I'll put it that way.
That's what I mean. You need something. I've never bought a tiki torch so fast in my life. Coming down here,
Citronella Brothers, my friend.
Yes, it is.
No.
You say y'all practice at the Pelham Iceplex? Do you bump heads with the Bulls much during the season?
Not much. I mean, I'm good friends with Craig Simchuk. I played with him, played against him for years. And, I go over there. I bounce ideas. I talk to a lot of the guys. I know a lot of the players. I've offered for their players before their season. Obviously, game's going on now. But, if you need a little bit extra ice, it only helps my players in the long run.
Yeah.
They get to learn something new. Maybe there's some guys that are interested in coaching. Why don't you come on out, put your gear on, grab some guys to the side, start working with them, individually. Yeah. But the only hiccup we have is going to be next week, the home opener, actually. So the Bulls are going to be playing on the main sheet while I'm on the practice sheet playing University of Illinois. And then we have our Division I AAU team playing after me at 10 o'clock. We have 3 hockey games from 7 to midnight. It's gonna be a real busy night.
So is there getting stands on the practice ice? Like is there
are. I mean, it's not as big. It's not as big as the main sheet, but to be honest, we're gonna be battling fans which I completely understand. It's a team that lost in the finals last year.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to come watch them play.
Yeah.
But the practice rink, you can have 50 people in there. It's going to look packed, and it's going to be loud.
It'll be loud.
Great.
Yeah.
They got the real glass on the practice side, not the plexiglass.
Sweet.
Hits are extra hard.
Talking about it. Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
So,
old school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, very old school. I mean, I've broken a couple panels there just shooting pucks.
I'm sure. Just pop in the right place.
That's I love that atmosphere and that smaller rink just for what we need. And maybe, for our team to maybe get that jump start. Obviously 2 wins this weekend is a step in the right direction. Yeah. But, playing a rink like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure your office is probably 3 or 4 doors down from Coach Saban's. You can just go down and talk to him, have him come in and give the team a rally, talk, and y'all will be set, man.
I mean, that'd be fantastic. His son-in-law used to play on the team back in the day.
Oh, cool.
So he was there. We had alumni weekend this past weekend. So last night, where all the alumni were on the ice, and I got to talk to him a little bit. And, he was just more than happy to come and, watch a hockey game. And, we made sure to honor the alum. We're auctioning off a boat that says Roll Tide all over it. So we're doing what we can to help our team.
Yeah.
Well, that's ironic as heck that Coach Saban's son-in-law is a former hockey player. Because if you're going to marry Coach Saban's daughter, you better be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You better be willing to.
He's probably able to take it. Yeah.
Better be willing to throw some hands if necessary.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
But no, they're going to have a heck of a football game today against Arkansas. They're getting back on the right track from what it's looking like, and we're going to follow suit.
Yep, there we go, man. Love to hear it.
Oh, and by the way, UAH did win the game last night in overtime, 3-2.
Oh, okay.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them. So, I mean, that's always been a battle in the past. It's good to see, a lot of competition rising in the state of Alabama.
But, Coach, this is your first time to join the show, and this cannot be the last. Tim, I'm putting this on you, producer extraordinaire.
Well,
this has been an excellent conversation.
We've
got to bring you back on here. I'm an Auburn fan. Heck, I don't care. I love the camaraderie between. Now, that's not me 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was a turd, but
I still am.
Well, Todd still is.
I roll Tide all the way. Fart on them War Eagles. Tom knows I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know he's okay.
Well, to make you guys both happy, I believe last weekend our AAU team split the weekend with Auburn.
They did. I saw that.
They both won, and I heard they were very tight, competitive games.
One goal. Auburn won by 1 goal. Alabama won by 1 goal. So
that's right. I think it was 6-5 both nights.
6-5 and 5-4. I think.
More.
Yeah. Oh, very entertaining games. Got to be.
I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, those are the games I enjoy coaching in. Those 1-goal games, especially last night. Giving up a goal with a minute left in the game for them to tie it, and then just moving players around. It's a chess match.
Yeah,
you're trying to beat what they're putting out there. You're playing chess, not checkers. Yeah. And we ended up getting the dub last night. Michael Kramer, actually from Huntsville, Alabama, ended up scoring the game winner.
Nice.
And, growing up in the South, man, hockey's something that I never.
No, we didn't have that back then.
We didn't have it,
we had a roller skating rink after Friday and Saturday night. But
right.
But, we didn't have hockey.
But after you start going to the games, and I tell everybody, man, hockey's it's a game you need to go experience in person, man. What y'all can do on the ice is just unbelievable. The hand-eye coordination, and you're doing it while you're skating.
Backwards.
And getting poked and prodded and busted, and it's just amazing. To me, I used to say basketball players were the best athletes, but I put hockey right up there with any of it because, again, you're doing it on ice, and it's just. I
mean, you have guys almost the size of basketball players playing the game of hockey, and they're doing it on a piece of steel the size of your pinky straight out.
I mean, it's amazing.
So it's edge work and everything, ankles. These big guys can move now.
Yeah,
and the
it's
speed
not like
of
the
used
game, even at y'all's level,
thing.
the speed is just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, compared to, hockey in the 80s and things like that, the game now, you don't have to be the biggest, baddest guy on the ice.
No.
So, I took a little bit of a smaller team working on speed and things like that because, the game's always evolving. It's always changing. I'm still a student of the game. I'll always be, even as a coach.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Coach. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's you're always learning as you go, and how the game is now. I want smaller, faster guys.
Yeah.
It's how you hit the holes a little bit quicker. It's
exactly. If you can't catch them, you can't.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Right. Now that reminds
me
of
you can't hook them like you used to back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
That reminds me of a kid that I've heard about coming out of high school here. His older brother played minor league hockey. Looked a lot like Patrick Swayze. His kid named Dean Youngblood, I believe. Looked a lot like Rob Lowe. I don't know. I mean, they just never could catch him, So, but he had to deal with this guy named Racky. But when Racky come out and he finally got found in. Sorry, Coach. I love hockey movies,
Keanu
man.
Reeves in net. I hear he's a heck of a goaltender too. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now we have a guy that Tim. Who is he? He was the technical advisor to these hockey movies that's come on the show.
Jack White.
Jack White, yeah.
Did the Mighty Ducks movie.
Done the Mighty Ducks as well. So we love talking hockey up here.
That's fantastic. I mean, for me, my movie that I love to watch is Miracle, just because they took hockey players and taught them how to act.
Yeah.
It wasn't the other way around. It was they taught hockey players to act, and you could tell they're hockey guys from a mile away.
Yeah, you're right.
And he certainly did
Kurt
his
Russell.
way, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he portrayed it to the T. It was awesome. Great movie.
Yeah.
And the pants.
I mean, that Callahan with that hit, I mean, I've seen that video thousands of times watching the game live, or I wasn't alive then, but when you watch the replay, it's that hit against Russia that changed the entire momentum of that game, and I will never forget it.
Yep.
That's awesome. So. Coach, let me try to pronounce the last name. Field Tesoriero.
There it is.
All right. Yeah, buddy, I appreciate that. I actually cheated. I put accents over the first S and over the second
it's all right.
Tesoriero.
Back when I was playing, they would say Phil, number 11. They wouldn't even pronounce my last name. So.
There we go.
So is this Italian heritage or?
Yeah, Italian-Irish. I'm the worst.
Oh, God bless you, son. God bless you, man. You've got Italian and Irish. So, hell.
No wonder you fought on the ice all the time.
What am I trying to say? Loved what is the big Irish dish? Beef. Help me, somebody. Yeah, they eat it on St. Patrick's Day.
Corned beef and hash?
Corned beef, yeah. You got to put garlic, parsley, and basil in your corned beef and hash. So
that's right.
I mean, that and St. Patty's Day, it wasn't about the drinking at that point. It was about some corned beef. I still do it to this day.
Still is in my house, too. I mean, I'm a Mick. I'm a Mick myself, so.
I don't need any Jameson. I don't need any Guinness. I just need a nice hearty meal, and I'm good to go.
Give me some corned beef, hash, taters, and carrots. My wife makes it good.
Oh, man. And can't ask for much.
We're both Scots-Irish, so we get it. We dig it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, thank you so much. What a great conversation. Come back to CIS and don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. No, pleasure for having me on the show. Hopefully, you guys can make it down to an Alabama hockey game. We can get the word out that we do have hockey in the South, and it is growing, and it's only getting better as we keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
That is for sure, buddy.
You're doing a great job of getting that out, so thank you.
And maybe next time we won't be in the wind, so you don't hear all that wind.
Oh, it's all right.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us, bud. We appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Take care and roll tide.
I hear you, War Eagle.
Take care.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach Phil Tesoriero of the Alabama hockey team. Just wonderful. It's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Davis & Cole LLP in Athens has served the area assisting individuals and businesses with bookkeeping, tax preparation and filing, and routine accounting. Davis & Cole LLP, located at 105 South Marion Street, open weekdays 9 to 5. Call 256-232-9994. Davis & Cole LLP.
Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks, licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. Now on a platform near you, the only year-round weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Wreakin' Havoc Podcast. News, interviews, and more. Dropping every Thursday, we'll just reek of the Huntsville Havoc. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen, follow, and subscribe on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app and online at wreakinhavoc.com. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We're being joined now by Dr. Clayton Trutor. We're going to talk to him today about a couple of books he's written. And Clayton, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Football Saturday.
Heck yeah, man. Me and Tim are Alabama fans.
I grew up cheering for Alabama. I grew up in Vermont. We didn't have a real college football team that was our own. So every Saturday, my mom and I watched Alabama. I wrote a letter to Gene Stallings when I was 12 years old, and he wrote me back a personal letter about Jay Barker's chances as a pro quarterback. So Alabama's always been very near and dear to my heart.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. Yeah,
and Gene
is awesome.
Yeah, I started to say he's one of those coaches that are really approachable, because I've had 2 or 3 interactions with him over the years, and he's just been like,
he is. Like, real quick story, Clayton, we've had him on our show a couple of times, and I do some autism advocacy, and I wanted to get him to sign some footballs so I could auction them off. And I got his phone number, and I called him, and I don't know what I was expecting. I guess a butler or somebody to answer. I don't know what. But anyway, he answers the phone. And gracious, signed him. I sent him, return address and all that stuff. And anyway, wonderful man. But we're here to talk about you today. So you hold, this is interesting, at least it is to me. So you hold a Ph.D. in U.S. history from Boston College. And are you still teaching at Norwich University?
Yes, I teach at Norwich University, which is a small military college in northern Vermont.
Okay, awesome. And you teach history, is that right?
Yes, I teach U.S. history primarily to graduate students. I teach a wide range of time periods and subjects. My research tends to focus on history and its relationship to sports, as my 2 books have gone into.
Oh, that is phenomenal. My son, who's autistic, is a huge history buff. That's kind of his thing, his niche. And I was telling him about you last night, and he was like, I would probably like to meet that man. I said, yeah, you probably would. Y'all could probably talk history all day long. Unfortunately, his dad's dumb, so he didn't get to talk to me about smart stuff like that very often. But before we go into your new book, I want to talk about your first book, or I assume your first book, Loserville: How Professional Sports Remade Atlanta and How Atlanta Remade Professional Sports. First of all, congratulations. Won the 2023 Bell Award for Best Book on Georgia History, a Sports Collector's Digest Best Baseball Book of 2022, and Public Books Public Pick of 2022. So that's pretty phenomenal, man. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you very much. It was all a big surprise, and it's been a huge honor.
Well, and obviously well-deserved. The subject matter of it, going back to when the Hawks and the Flames and all the teams came into the South, the Falcons, and then how it was structured. I never would have thought to delve that deep into the effects of, how those sports franchises affected, the diversity around the area. Talk about it for a little bit.
Sure. The book started out, I just got curious about the history of sports franchise relocations and league expansions. I'd thought about there were teams moving here and there, but never really in a comprehensive manner. And when I was writing my dissertation in graduate school, I wanted to write broadly about the history of league expansions and franchise relocations. And my advisor wisely said, Clayton, that will take you 50 years. Pick a particular city to focus in on and make that your topic and use it as a way to talk more broadly about the subject. And Atlanta was perfect for that. It's really the first true expansion city that went from 0 to 4 teams incredibly quickly. Atlanta had no pro sports franchises in 1965. By 1972, they have 2 brand new venues, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium and the Omni, and teams in all 4 of the major leagues. And it's really a story of just too much too soon. No city had really done this before, so it was really tough to know how it would turn out. But it's not like people in Atlanta weren't interested in sports already. There was obviously golf and college football and stock car racing and all kinds of other things people loved. Having 4 pro sports teams come in really, really quickly proved very difficult to digest. And it's eventually happened, but it took a lot longer than people anticipated. And many other cities that followed that same pattern, luring pro sports to town by offering public money to support them, have dealt with similar situations.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about how, like, the city, became like, the city itself of Atlanta became like a black majority And then you kind of had, the wide exodus of folks moving out to the suburbs, and how that, not necessarily there was a divide there, but it was obviously a different dynamic in how those sports teams were supported.
Well, there's a lot of moving parts there. Certainly there's the aspect of the desegregation of Atlanta, and one major factor in that is simply the migration of people from rural parts of Georgia and the Southeast in general into the city of Atlanta. There was a significant housing crunch. There was also a tendency, particularly of the white working class of Atlanta, to leave the city as a result. I mean, certainly an ugly ugly chapter in history. Yeah. There's also the aspect of lots of transplants moving to the Southeast because Atlanta was so full of jobs all of a sudden. It was the major market in the Southeast, the banking and industrial and transportation hub. So you had a lot of people moving in and moving out simultaneously in the same period. So it was a very chaotic time in Atlanta, and in some ways pro sports, the city leaders thought would serve as this kind of source of order, this common bond everyone would have. Ivan Allen, who was the mayor of Atlanta for the vast majority of the 1960s, talked about sports being this axis you could build around in the city. And it didn't exactly turn out that way for a lot of reasons I go into the book. So in many ways, there's a political story in the book, a cultural story, a social story, as well as a sports story. And I try to bring them together in the narrative.
Well, it's a great subject matter without a doubt. And the way that, I've never even thought about it, right? As a sports fan, you just, especially being in the South at the time, I was a lot younger, but you're just happy to get those teams. And Atlanta's relatively close to us. We're about 4 hours away. And at the time, those were our closest, major franchise sports, whether it be NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever, hockey and football. But, the way that teams are brought in nowadays, or franchises nowadays, they're still kind of using that same dynamic, aren't they, or structure?
Very much so. There's a public financing for it, but they've gotten a lot smarter about how they do it. Back when Atlanta was getting their first stadium, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, it was property taxes that paid for it. So grandma with her little house for property taxes went up to pay for a ballpark. Now cities tend to use means where they get people from out of town to pay for a big portion of the stadium. It's restaurant taxes. Yeah. It's taxes on rental cars. It's taxes on hotel rooms. So it's a very good way to sell it to the public that you're taxing somebody who's visiting rather than taxing the people themselves. Certainly there's still aspects of the communities, the people in the communities paying for it. But at least in terms of marketing these moves, cities have gotten better about it. And I think it's a significant improvement not having, grandma's property taxes go up to pay for a stadium.
Yep, absolutely. Well, yeah, it's a wonderful read. I recommend, folks going out there and checking it out. I want to move on to your next book, Boston Ball, Rick Pitino, Jim Calhoun, Gary Williams, and the Forgotten Cradle of Basketball Coaches. Now, even though we're here in the South, Tim will tell you, if the other guys are here, they'll tell you, even though we're here in football country, basketball is my love. I love basketball. To me, it's the best sport there is. And, you couldn't have wrote about, three better coaches. I mean, all of them in the Hall of Fame. Came through, smaller schools there around the Boston area. And, still, you got Rick Pitino still out there and doing it. Talk about what intrigued you about even wanting to write about these guys and about this whole Boston trio.
If I hadn't gone to graduate school in Boston, I would have never thought of the book. In the wintertime, when I had time, I would go to all the different colleges there, their college games, whether it was Harvard or BC or BU or Northeastern. And by going to all these games, several games to each school each winter, it occurred to me that at roughly the same time period in the early 1980s, you had coaches with Jim Calhoun at Northeastern, Rick Pitino at BU, and Gary Williams at Boston College, who all were beginning their career in Boston at roughly the same time, and they all ended up in the Hall of Fame. When the pandemic got going and I was kind of sitting around looking for something to do, I started working on this project, realizing it's sort of an origin story for modern college basketball, both in terms of these three Hall of Fame coaches who win six national titles. They go to the Final Four 14 times collectively. They win like 2,400 collective games. There's that aspect. But also stylistically, much of what happened in college basketball in the last 30 or 35 years is a product of what those guys started to put in place in Boston at the same time. None of these schools were able to recruit the big men that dominated college basketball in the 70s and into the early 80s. It became increasingly the land of Bob Lanier and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Walton and guys like that who dominated college basketball. BC and BU and Northeastern weren't going to be able to recruit these guys. To be competitive in any national sense, they needed to find a new way to play. And all three of these teams played a very up-tempo style, crashing the boards, up-tempo offense, fast-breaking, pressure defense. And by taking this new approach, which all of these coaches adapted at their future jobs, whether it's Calhoun at UConn or Gary Williams at Maryland or Rick Pitino at the half a dozen places he coached at, it ended up shaping the style of modern college basketball. And you look at the coaching trees all three of these guys developed. Yeah. It's not just them and their success, but it ends up in many ways changing the tactical approach of college basketball in the late 20th and early 21st century.
That's a great point. I've never even thought about that. But they were right there at the forefront of revolutionizing the way the game was played. Because now, if you do recruit a 7-footer, it's not because you want them in the post. They're out there shooting threes or bringing the ball up the court. The game has changed so much. But the way, like, I got to see Pitino and some of those Providence teams play in person, and was always, you looked out there and you were like, wow, man, these guys aren't freakish athletes. Or, they really weren't. But the way he coached them and the way that the game was structured, the way they coached it, man, it was just so much fun to watch, and they were really successful, all three of them. But I always followed Pitino. I don't know why. I just was enamored with him for whatever reason. He just, like you said, he was successful everywhere he went and brought that same system everywhere he went.
Yeah, and at Providence, he's just about the earliest adopter of the three-pointer because it's the 86-87 season it comes in, which is his second year at Providence, and he teaches Billy Donovan and Floyd Lewis and all those guys. You got to be working on the three-pointer. So they had to run laps in practice if they didn't shoot three-pointers in the preseason that year, and they ended up being the best three-point shooting team in the country and able to overcome teams that clearly had a lot more talent than them, particularly within the Big East. So Pitino's always been very willing to adapt to the circumstances of his time. I think another thing of interest is these three guys coaching in the 1980s. This is an era of remarkable transition in college basketball, with the conference shifting, just as dramatic as we're seeing now happening in that time period. The growth of the tournament to a 64 team bracket, as opposed to it being as few as 25 team tournament back in the mid 70s. The adoption of the three-pointer, the adoption of the shot clock. This is a game very much in transition, and these guys are adapting on the fly to what's happening around them.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627.
Bring a little caffeination inspiration to your next event with Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. Turn up the heat in these cooler months with their signature products, including a full coffee menu, white chocolate mocha, lattes, frappes, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. Travelin' Tom serves events of any size, concerts, neighborhood block parties, high school football games, you name it. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens is sure to make any event a little sweeter. Visit Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens on Facebook or call them at 434-1734. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the AHSAA, are the 138,000 high school sports students in Alabama. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to Go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with a Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. We continue with our conversation on the Best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
You know, I haven't really thought about that. Yeah, the shot clock and then the three-pointer all coming together around there in the late 80s. When we played ball, we didn't have any of that in high school. It came out after I graduated. And it was, you know, it took a while for a lot of coaches to adapt, especially to the three. They had to adapt to the shot clock. They had no choice. But for the three-pointer, a lot of coaches still, they did not want to do that and go down that road. And I can remember some of those Providence teams, like you said. Yeah, they were able to shoot. I saw Billy Donovan play 2 or 3 times in college, and I mean he was a good shooter himself. But that whole team could shoot. And I loved all 3 of their coaching styles. They're all different. Like Gary Williams always reminded, you know, fire, right, man? Just like old school, you know, not in your face, but you know what I mean? Just like, you know, he'd get on them when they needed to get on them or whatever. Jim Calhoun kind of the same way. Have you met any of these guys? Were you able to interview any of them for the book?
I interviewed 2 of the 3. I wasn't able to interview Pitino. I think, for one thing, he got a little leery of the press as a result of some of the various things that have happened in recent years with him. And also, he was in the process of getting that St. John's job when I'm writing the book. Okay. I had a great conversation with Jim Calhoun. We chatted for 2 hours. Within 5 minutes of talking to him, it was like I was sitting with an old buddy at the VFW just having a beer or something. Just a great guy to talk to. And Gary Williams was great to talk to too. I mean, he's an intense guy, very much so, but he loosened up and we chatted for like an hour, and he was incredibly helpful talking to him too, and is a great guy as well.
That's
Love
awesome.
to talk to Pitino eventually, though. But
yeah, I hope you get that opportunity, and maybe he'll get wind of the book and read it and see the fair shake that he was given, and be more willing to maybe sit down with you in the future and maybe do some follow-up. I could see where, Jim Calhoun always kind of give you that vibe, right? When you see him interviewed on TV, he just seems like this, regular old guy, and, just happens to be a wonderful, at what he does type kind of guy. But talk about just, what you said you did talk to Coach Williams. What were some of his thoughts on, I'm trying to think back in the day, of course, you had North Carolina and NC State and all those good teams in the ACC. There was a lot of talent in that league. Did he ever feel like that he maybe had let a few wins get out of the way or championships that he could have possibly won slip through his fingers, or did he ever go down that road?
I sort of think Gary Williams did as well as he possibly could at Maryland, in part because he just didn't play the AAU game in the same way a lot of those coaches did. He's like, I'm going to build it. There's a lot of good players in the D.C. area. I'm going to build around local guys. You look at that national title team he had, those were guys from Maryland and D.C. and Virginia. I think among the core of guys who played, the guy who was from furthest away was from like Newport News or something. I mean, this was a genuinely a local team he built at Maryland, and I think it's very impressive that he was able to build the team the right way and the way he thought a team should be built. One thing that was really remarkable talking to Gary Williams was his memory of the guys. He had these, I just go through a list of guys who played for him. He'd have very strong recollections of the personalities. He remembered what the guys majored in and stuff like this. Oh, wow. This is a guy who took great care in the lives of his players. I mean, this is a man who cares deeply about the people who are playing for him on his teams.
Yeah, and that's special. And that's what coaches, should do and do. I mean, when you're under them, they're a father figure, whatever, brother at some point, and a friend, and obviously an advisor and a mentor. But I always liked Coach Williams, and you're right that conference was so strong back then when he coached, and really all three of them. But Coach Calhoun playing against all those Big East teams and having all the success he did. That was some really fun time for basketball.
Absolutely. I mean, how competitive that league was remarkable. That UConn had really been down for all of the early years of the Big East. Mm-hmm. They'd been a pretty good school in New England. They'd won the old Yankee Conference a bunch of times and gotten to the tournament. But in the early years of the Big East, they were among the lesser teams in the league. And Calhoun very quickly rebuilds that club. He's very good at, convincing guys who were overlooked by bigger schools to come there and to keep that chip on their shoulder. That you're going to remember that Syracuse and Georgetown didn't recruit you, and you're going to make them pay for it. I mean, that mentality is very clear, even back to his time at Northeastern, because he would talk about that when he was at Northeastern, that these other big schools didn't recruit you. We're going to show them that you can play basketball, and was a great motivator in that respect.
Yeah, he certainly was. I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the players that came through there at his time, but having, like you bring up a good point, having recruited against those other schools and convincing the best players that he could possibly get to come, and then turn them into the teams that he had, and then the program still had a lot of success even after he left because he built that program up so much. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I've never understood why Miami or the USCs of the world, all these schools that have summer year round, right? Who would want to go to Syracuse or the big or anywhere on the East Coast and freeze your tail off in the winter when you could be by a swimming pool, in March or January as far as that goes. I've just always been enamored that these coaches are able to convince these kids to come to those schools, smaller schools in some sense. Did you ever see the documentary on ESPN about the Big East by chance?
Oh, loved it. I think I've watched every single 30 for 30. Yeah, the Requiem for Peace is fantastic.
Yes. I couldn't think the name of it. Probably, to me, one of the best ones they ever did, by far. And
I agree completely.
And to see how they built that whole conference up, and of course, Calhoun was right there in the middle of it. And now, is Northeastern, is it in Boston?
Yeah, Northeastern's in the city of Boston. It's like a mile. There's a major street called Commonwealth Avenue, and BC and BU are both on it. BU is about a mile away from Northeastern, maybe 5 miles from Boston College. I mean, they're all within a subway ride. They're all actually on the same. It's called the Green Line, the same trolley line as each other. So they're all in very close proximity. BU and Northeastern were in the same league. It was called the ECAC North. Then it became the North Atlantic Conference. It's called America East now. The personnel of that conference has shifted quite a bit. It was kind of a mid-major in the early 80s because you had Northeastern and BU too, with Calhoun and Pitino as rivals in the conference. You also had Canisius and Niagara, which historically were very strong programs out of Buffalo. Both were frequently in the NIT when the NIT was a bigger deal. So you had a bunch of very good teams in that league. You had Siena, too, who had a couple of upsets in the NCAA tournament. So it was kind of like the Missouri Valley Conference was a few years back, I would say would be a parallel.
Okay. Now, is that conference still competing on Division I level, or what do they call it now?
It's America East. It's all those teams are largely in different conferences now. America East has been in recent years dominated by the University of Vermont. I mean, BU is not in it anymore. Northeastern's not in it, but it's a little bit weaker league. But they're still an automatic bid conference out of the Northeast.
Okay. Well, have you got any future projects in the works or thoughts of future projects?
Well, I do a lot of freelance writing on different kind of sports and music and movie related topics. I'm trying to work out an idea for a third book. I've been talking with my agent a little bit about that, trying to figure that out. But I hopefully another sports related book in a couple of years, and I mean, in many ways, because of the pandemic, it's how I was able to get this book out so quickly. There were a lot of guys sitting around, and I was able to, if you look in the back of the book at the list of interviews, in 3 months, I interviewed 95 guys or something like that, or 98 or something.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
And it was all Zoom. It was phone calls and stuff like this. It's it was a pandemic book completely.
That is awesome. Well, so once again, I want to tell everybody your two books. It's Loserville, How Professional Sports Remade Atlanta, and How Atlanta Remade Professional Sports. And Boston Ball, Rick Pitino, Jim Calhoun, Gary Williams, and the Forgotten Cradle of Basketball Coaches. Tell everybody where they can go and purchase these books.
You can get both of those books on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. They're in some bookstores now. I mean, more so I would say in the Northeast, but those are sure bets. The Amazon price for Loserville is very good right now. In terms of Boston Ball, if you go to bit.ly, bit.ly/Boston Ball, all one word, and you use promo code 6AF23, you can save 40% off the cover price. That's a quick link to the publisher's website. bit.ly/Boston Ball, promo code 6AF23. You can save 40% off the cover price on Boston Ball. And I'm on social media. I'd love to hear from anybody. And if there's anybody out there in Alabama who has a publication, I have a feature story about Pat Sullivan I've been trying to find a home for 2 years. It's a deeply researched story, a very, very in-depth account of his career, and I'd love to find a home for it. So if you have a publication, find me, Clayton Trutor, on social media.
Absolutely. I found you on Twitter, or X, last night, and read through a lot of your stuff and followed you. You followed me back. Appreciate it. I'm definitely going to follow you from here on out. I even hit notifications. You're an interesting guy, and I look forward to anything that you may be doing in the future. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
It's been a genuine pleasure, guys. Happy to come on and run my mouth anytime.
Well, man, we really appreciate you, and we'll definitely have you back on to go more in depth in some of this stuff because it's really interesting. You've done a phenomenal job. I'm definitely going to go out there and get the Boston Ball book as much as I love basketball. So appreciate your time, man. Good luck to you in the future, and take care.
Thank you both, and roll tide.
Roll tide. Thanks, buddy. That was Dr. Clayton Trutor joining us, and y'all go out and read those books, man. He's done a wonderful job, and we appreciate his time. And you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKC, the Big 1080.
Bring a little caffeination inspiration to your next event with Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens. Turn up the heat in these cooler months with their signature products, including a full coffee menu, white chocolate mocha, lattes, frappes, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. Travelin' Tom serves events of any size, concerts, neighborhood block parties, high school football games, you name it. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens is sure to make any event a little sweeter. Visit Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens on Facebook or call them at 434-1734. Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Athens.
Local People's Gas Company in Athens and Ferguson LP Gas Company in Ardmore would like to wish all their customers a happy holiday season and thank you for your support this year. Remember, with Local People's Gas and Ferguson LP Gas, you always get the most value for your dollar, professional gas personnel who make safety a high priority, and you can always get in touch with them any day of the year at any time. Call local People's Gas Company at 230-3600 or Ferguson LP Gas at 423-3320. While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627.
Sparkling internet, oh so bright. Gigabit speed spread pure delight. Stream and play without delay with a fiber connection faster than Santa's sleigh. Get ready to be gigging around the Christmas tree with internet from Ardmore Telephone Company. Join the holiday cheer and call 800-830-9946 to upgrade today. ATC is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Baron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
He's got a push. Back up three. In! He got it! Three-pointer at the buzzer to win it! Unbelievable!
Join Play Action Sports for another season of Calhoun basketball. You can hear live action from men's and women's teams streamed on the PAS Plus app on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus or online at pasplus.net. Check out the online archives on the website or on your favorite podcast platform too. And listen for select games on Sundays at noon on WKAC Radio. Calhoun basketball from PAS Plus.
You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.